So next is item 4, for public appearances for non-agenda items or new appointment or proclamation. We have a couple of proclamations for tonight. We are going to start first with proclaiming June as a Pride Month in the City of Fitchburg.
Whereas the City of Fitchburg recognizes the importance of equality and freedom for all residents and values the diversity of our community, including our LGBTQIA2S+ residents, who contribute significantly to the cultural, civic, and economic vibrancy of our city. And
whereas June was chosen as National Pride Month to commemorate the 1969 protests and demonstrations in response to raids at the Stonewall Inn in New York's Greenwich Village. And
whereas June has become a symbolic month in which the LGBTQIA2S+ community and allies come together in various celebrations of pride. And
whereas the City of Fitchburg is committed to fostering an inclusive and welcoming environment that supports the dignity and rights of all of its residents, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression. And
whereas Fitchburg is strengthened by the diversity of ethnic, cultural, racial, gender, and sexual identities of its residents and business community members, all of which contribute to the character, talent, economy, and leadership of our city. And
whereas while critical steps have been made toward full LGBTQIA2S+ equity and equality, members of our national, state, and local communities still face discrimination, exclusion, and prejudice simply for being who they are and for whom they love. And
whereas discrimination against people from the LGBTQIA2S+ community around the world makes it imperative for cities like Fitchburg to stand up and show support for our LGBTQIA2S+ residents and continue to advocate and educate our residents to combat prejudice and to promote understanding, acceptance, and respect. And
whereas, despite decades of progress, the LGBTQIA2S+ community continues to face threats to its rights and dignity as recent actions and proposals from the current federal administration seek to roll back hard-won protections in areas such as healthcare access, transgender rights, inclusive education, and anti-discrimination policies, undermining the safety, inclusion, and equality that all residents deserve. And
whereas in the face of these ongoing threats, the City of Fitchburg, Wisconsin reaffirms its commitment to being a welcoming, inclusive, and safe community for all, and will not follow or support policies that seek to marginalize or discriminate against LGBTQIA2S+ individuals. And
whereas LGBTQIA2S youth face disproportionately high rates of mental health challenges. 39% have seriously considered suicide, 12% have attempted it in the past year, and the rates rise to 46% among transgender and non-binary youth, with even higher risks of youth of color, including a 325 attempt rate among American Indian, Alaska Native youth. Yet research shows that inclusive, affirming communities significantly reduce the risks by fostering belonging, safety, and improved mental well-being, demonstrating the urgent need for the continued support and equity for LGBTQIA2S individuals in the City of Fitchburg.
So now, therefore, it is resolved that I, Julia Arata-Fratta, Mayor of the City of Fitchburg, along with the Common Council, do hereby proclaim the month of June as a Pride Month and encourage all residents to actively promote, support, and help to build a culture of inclusiveness and acceptance. This is proclaimed this June 10th date of June 2025. The next proclamation is honoring June 19, 2025 as Juneteenth Celebration Day.
whereas Juneteenth, observed annually on June 19th, marks the emancipation of enslaved African Americans in the United States and is a vital celebration of freedom, resilience, and cultural heritage. And
whereas Juneteenth is a time to reflect on the enduring struggles and triumphs of Black communities, honoring their contributions to the fabric of our nation and recognizing the ongoing pursuit of justice, equality, and human dignity. And
Whereas, despite current efforts to diminish or erase the significance of this historic day, the spirit of Juneteenth continues to inspire hope, unity, and the collective commitment to a more inclusive and equitable society. And
whereas the City of Fitchburg recognizes the importance of commemorating Juneteenth as an integral part of our community's history and cultural identity, and
whereas it is imperative that citizens in Fitchburg and across the state continue to work towards a more just Wisconsin and join to acknowledge a time in our history that carried on the nation's ideals of equality and democracy and celebrate the joys of liberty and justice for every American citizen.
Now, therefore, I, Julia Arata-Fratta, Mayor of the City of Fitchburg, along with the Fitchburg City Common Council, do hereby proclaim Thursday, June 19, as Juneteenth date in Fitchburg, and call upon all residents to observe this date with respect, reflection, and a renewed dedication to justice and equality. Let us acknowledge the resilience of those who have fought for freedom and affirm our shared responsibility to build a future where liberty and human rights are upheld for all. This is proclaimed this 10th day of June 2025.